Hi, I'm Maddie Bolin, and welcome back to the final episode of PHS Now for the 2020-2021 season. We kick this episode off with Joe and Xander talking to a couple of our graduating seniors about their upcoming plans for the future.
Hi, I'm here with Kara Went, and Kara, what are you most excited for at graduation?
Definitely my graduation party and moving out of the house.
And do you have any plans for after graduation?
I'm going to attend Edison for criminology.
What is your most memorable moment of high school?
Definitely playing sports.
And do you have any advice for underclassmen?
Get all your work done and have fun.
All right, thank you, Kara.
I'm here with Ava Rowley. And Ava, what are you most excited for graduation?
I'm excited to move out and live on my own in college.
What is your most memorable moment in high school?
Probably meeting all new people and playing sports with my friends.
What are your plans after high school?
I'll be going to the University of Toledo, majoring in exercise science.
And if you gave any advice, what would you give to the underclassmen?
Not to procrastinate on your work.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm here with Kelsey Godfrey, and Kelsey, what are you most excited about for graduation?
Saying goodbye to all my teachers.
And what are your plans for after graduation?
Going to BGSU.
And what are you majoring in college?
Early childhood education.
What is your most memorable memory at Piqua High School?
Taking my mentor student Andrew to all of the dances.
Do you have any advice for the underclassmen who might be watching this?
No.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm here with Jasmine Cook. And Jasmine, what are you most excited for graduation?
The ability to just move forward and do my own thing, be my own person.
Jasmine, what are your plans after graduation?
I'm going to Edison for 2 years and then going to OU for the next 2.
What are you majoring in?
I'll be majoring in forensic science and minoring in criminal justice.
What is your most memorable moment at Piqua High School?
I can't pinpoint one. I really appreciated meeting the friends that I've gotten though. That's really about it.
What advice do you have for any underclassmen?
I don't know if I really have any. Just kind of go with the flow. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Do your own thing.
Hi, I'm here with Lance Reed 6. And Lance, what are you most excited for about graduation?
I'm most excited about walking across the stage and getting my diploma and having my whole family there watching me move on to the next step in life.
Okay. What are your plans after graduation?
I'll be attending Princeton University to major in finance and also be playing football there.
What is your most memorable moment from high school?
My most memorable moment probably is just my whole junior season in general in both football and wrestling. I really got better as a person and as a player, and it was really a good time for me.
And last question, what would you give advice for any underclassmen?
Just lay low and do your work. Don't try to get into too much or be peer pressured by the things that other people do. Just be yourself and try to become successful.
All right, thank you. Hi, I'm here with Kron Coleman. And Kron, what are you most excited for about graduation?
I'm excited about work being over with for a little bit until I gotta go to college.
What are your plans after graduation?
After graduation, I'm gonna go to UD and I'm gonna be playing football.
What are you going to major in at UD?
I'm gonna be majoring in something with engineering. I'm not quite sure yet.
Okay. What is your most memorable moment from this high school?
My most memorable moments would have to be playing football and spending time with my teammates.
If you gave any advice to any underclassmen, what would it be?
My advice to underclassmen would be to stay on track and keep your priorities straight.
All right, thank you.
Now we have Blaine getting some advice from the teachers here at the high school for our graduating seniors.
Welcome back to this segment of PHS Now. I'm here with Miss Allen now, and she's going to go ahead and give us some advice for graduating seniors that may be entering college or the work field. So, Miss Allen, what would be your piece of advice to a graduating senior that is planning on attending college next fall?
Okay, I think the biggest thing that helped me when I started college was to plan out my time. I think sometimes students start college and they just either want to study all the time or they want to party all the time, and there's no in between. And I think if you decide to yourself, okay, this is when I'm going to study, I'm going to spend this amount of time studying, and then my social life I'll have time for, because if you don't do that, you're going to drown in grades and worrying about what's happening with your classes. So I think the planning is the biggest thing. Give yourself segments of time.
That was a great answer. And if there was a student that is not maybe planning on going to college, but rather entering the work field or working in a trade, what would your advice or tips be for someone that is planning on going into that career?
Okay, I think maybe my biggest thing would be to make sure that you are saving some money, because when you get to a certain age, if you haven't saved money, then you're going to be worried about your retirement. And I know that when you're 19 years old, it's really kind of hard to be thinking about retirement, but I think that that's probably the biggest one I would give to somebody that's going out into the work field. Set a little bit of your salary each week aside so that you've got some money for when you're ready to retire.
Perfect. And finally, not that most college seniors haven't already decided on a major, but if there is a high schooler that isn't decided on a major and they still are planning to attend college, what advice would you give for them looking to maybe find that major and go down that path?
Okay, well, I'll tell you this. I changed my major 3 times while I was in college, so I don't know if having a major totally decided before you start is necessary. You go to college, you do a well-rounded educational plan, take classes from all different subject areas, and then you might be able to decide what you want to do. But I started out with one major of nursing, which is way far away from what I'm doing now, and I decided to go pre-law for a little while, and then I finally decided that education was the thing I wanted to do, which is what I originally wanted to do in high school, but I kind of got to college, kind of changed my mind a couple of times. Worked out fine for me. I've been in education for over 30 years, so just give it some time. You don't have to know when you're 18 years old exactly what you want to do.
That was perfect advice, and we thank you very much. Now I'm here with Senior Potts, and he's going to go ahead and give us his advice and tips for a graduating high schooler. So Senior Potts, for a student at PHS that is planning on graduating here right in the summer and then attending college next fall, what would be a big piece of advice or a tip that you would give?
My advice to a graduating senior going off to college is to immediately after graduating, go spend time with all your favorite people on earth, your family, your friends. This could be a 3-day weekend, it could be a week, maybe it's 2 weeks. But then I would, if you haven't already, I would look for a part-time job, maybe 2 part-time jobs, maybe a full-time job. Before the fall hits, I would try to save at least $1,500, $2,500, $3,500. You want to have a little bit of a financial cushion going into college. I would not get a credit card that has more than $500 limit on it. No more than $1,000. Once you turn 18, you're going to be bombarded with credit card offers. And at that age, you're going to be like, ay, Chihuahua, mucho dinero. But the interest rate is horrible, and you're going to be, that is a huge mistake. Be very careful about accepting credit cards. I would maybe do one with your parents' permission or your hot pocket provider, whoever you live with, and don't get more than a $500 limit or maybe a $1,000 limit. So save money and stay debt-free by getting a very small, limited amount on your credit card. I think that's a good start.
Awesome. And, you know, the other path that a graduating senior might take is like kids at the UVCC who are working in trades and are going straight into the workforce, entering jobs. What would be a tip or an advice for a student like that who is maybe not deciding the college route, but entering right into a job, making money, going straight into the work field?
Sure. That's both questions are great. The last one that you mentioned, I think, is severely important. I think there is a huge underflowing river in our culture about you have to go to college. You have to go to college. It's just not true. Some people are going to go to college. Some people are already ready for college. But but it's just not for everyone. So I wish there were more maybe hip-hop videos or rock videos that would have trade skill workers in the background of these videos, showing their certificates instead of people just, flinging money in the air, making it rain, showing how rich that Americans desire to be. I think it is awesome, whatever you want to do, whether it's college, trade skill, workforce, taking over your father's landscaping job, working with your uncle at a construction site. Anything that you do that's positive, as long as you're not just hanging out in your parents' basement playing video games, as long as you're working towards a certificate or a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree, you're doing the right thing. So I would talk to your uncle that's a plumber. Talk to your aunt that's a nurse. Talk to maybe your best friend's mom works in a retirement home. Go hang out with them. Go have lunch with them at their workforce and see what it's like. So they are both, not everyone's going to college, not everyone's going to the workforce, not everyone's going to a trade school, but whatever you do, just try your best. And my students know this. Don't forget those 3 important words. Try, no, cry.
Try, no, cry.
And we are Piqua.
And finally, Senior Potts, if there is a college, to-be college student out here at Piqua High School and they are unsure of a major, what would you suggest to them? And how did you find, your major into education? Could you go ahead and explain that to us a little bit?
Sure. If you're undecided, this is the reason why I said the first thing I said. If you don't know what you're doing, save money. Work at Dairy Queen and Walmart, or work at McDonald's and help your parents on the weekend with their whatever job they do, or second job that they might do. And so save money during those moments, during those months that you're not sure about your major. You're also saving money at the same time, so you're not entering the fall with a huge doubt cloud over your head. Right. And just do some exploratory and go hang out with your uncle that does drywall. Go hang out with your best friend's aunt that works in a nursing home. Do some exploratory visiting. Just go have lunch with them. I always knew I wanted to be a teacher, but I didn't know what subject. So my guidance counselor told me I wanted to be either history or Spanish. Okay. And my guidance counselor eventually told me, well, during a job interview, there's probably going to be about 20 people, or 5 or 10 or 15 hoping for that history job, but there's probably only going to be 1 or 2 or maybe no other people for that Spanish job. Right. And it was a little true. No offense against history teachers. I considered doing it. It seems to be popular. A lot of people want to be history teachers, and that's a great thing. But I didn't know that not a lot of people wanted to be a foreign language teacher. So once I found that out, that it was a little bit more selective, or there's just not a lot of people that want to do those jobs, I thought, let's try that. And so I knew it was either a globe or Mexican food. And I love globes, history, geography, but I also love Mexican food. And I also knew that you could study abroad in another country. And so once I did that, it all the planets aligned together.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Senor.
De nada. Gracias.
All right, and we're back now with Mr. Messick. And Mr. Messick, here at PHS, we look up at the board right there, and there's only 29 days left until us seniors graduate. And for seniors heading off to college, what would be your advice or a tip to someone that is planning on taking that next step in their life?
Thank you, and it's a rough 29 days, isn't it? It's like you're just clawing to get out of here. Start your life. Now, I think the biggest thing going off, to college, some of the things that I experienced, I think. It's a huge change. I mean, here at the high school, the teachers really reach out to you to try to make sure that you're where you need to be, do what you need to do, so on and so forth. When you get into college, that's not so much the case. Right. So there you have to have a lot of responsibility. Don't schedule those 7:30 in the morning classes if you don't get up. If you can't get up till 10, all right, just don't do those things. And so, like I said, just being responsible, making sure you're making connections with those professors, or in a lot of cases, it's going to be their teaching assistants, so that you're a lot more successful.
Yeah. And the opposite road that a high school senior might take is like someone at the career center is going straight into the work field or a trade school. What would be a different step of advice for those kind of students?
So I work with a lot of employers here in Piqua. We talk to a lot of businesses, and they always ask them, what is or I always ask them, what is it you're looking for? Right. Their number one thing, 100% number one, is I'm looking for somebody that will show up to work every single day and be on time. Mm-hmm. And then after that, they want people that can be a team member, somebody that can problem solve, and just be nice, and that's that's what they're really looking for. So when you go out into the workforce, it's extremely important that you establish yourself as somebody that's going to be there, that's going to do their part, work hard, and you don't want to get into that first couple weeks and all of a sudden you're saying, oh, I'm late or whatever, because you're not going to have a job very often. So.
And finally, to a graduating high schooler that is maybe undecided on their major, if they are heading to college, what would be your tips or advice to someone that's looking to find what they're going to possibly do for what's going to carry them through the rest of their life? What would you give to somebody that's looking for a major?
That was me. Yeah. By the way, when I went to college, first off, I wasn't even positive I was going to go to college. I just found out I get to play football, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to college. I tried several things out. I took classes that interested me, and there was actually one professor that I took, and this guy was nuts, and it was so fun to be in his classroom. So I started taking his classes, and he was a social studies professor. So that kind of rolled into me taking a lot of social studies classes. I went to my guidance or counselor there, and they said, all right, you need to declare a major. Right. And they're like, you have all these social studies classes. What would you like to do? Well, what can I do with that? They put me into teaching, and I automatically fell in love with it. So I had the opportunity, by just taking different things, I had the opportunity to, one, be in classes that I enjoyed, and two, I found a career that really fit me. And so sometimes, like, if you go in, unless you really, really know, if you go into college and just say, everybody's told me I need to be an engineer, but it's not interesting to you, you got to remember, you're going to be doing this until you're 60-something years old. So you better make sure you find something that you really, really enjoy and that you're going to be happy to go to work to do every day.
Awesome. Those are great tips, great advice, and we thank you for that.
Next, we have Tommy talking to Miss Pace about the prom that was held on May 1st.
What's up, Piqua? I'm Tommy, and I'm here today with Miss Pace. And Miss Pace, today I'm going to be asking her a little bit about prom. So Miss Pace, what was the process of putting prom together this year?
Well, it was very interesting because we didn't really know what it was going to look like. We started in October talking to the junior class, seeing what kind of activities they might be interested in. We weren't for sure up until February if we'd be able to dance. So it was just a lot of planning, but not being able to figure out exactly what the plan was until we got into about March.
And what was the difference between this year's prom versus a normal year in prom?
Hey, well, obviously the things that we're currently wearing right now were a major factor. So usually we are off campus and we have plenty of dancing and it's beautifully done at Romer's. But this year, because of the spacing out and everything, we had to do it on PHS's campus. We had the dancing, we also had dinner, we had many activity rooms, so it was a lot of different things for the students to do that spread out throughout the whole building.
Who all helped put this program on?
Well, it started with Miss Meyer and myself with the junior class officers, and then we called Miss Krogman in with the senior class officers as well to kind of go through the planning. Mr. Messick and Mr. Thompson were instrumental in figuring out what we were allowed to do. Mr. Lyons was getting approval from the health department as well. And then, of course, Miss Michael was instrumental in making sure that all the students were safe. And Miss Devers made sure we paid everything on time. So, I mean, there was a huge amount of staff staff and students that helped us put this all together.
Was it any harder to plan out prom this year versus a normal year?
I never planned prom before. This was my first and probably only time of ever doing it. So I can't contest to like how it was before. I would say that it was very difficult because we made a plan and then we had to scratch that plan. We made another plan and then that one didn't end up working out. And I think our final plan was our 5th one. So, planning time was longer, but it was worth it to get what the kids got out of it.
That's good. Last question, and what were some pushbacks of getting prom together this year?
I don't know necessarily if it was pushbacks. Of course, we had to work with the Piqua Health Department to make sure that everything was safe. Of course, with Governor DeWine's orders, we were unsure what they were going to look like for a little bit. So, we didn't get any necessarily pushback on completing the prom and doing the prom the way we wanted to. We just had to really focus on what the guidelines were at that time and kind of anticipate what they might be when it came to like the actual prom date. So that's kind of all that we had. We didn't have anybody saying, no, you can't do anything. We just had to work within the parameters that were given to us by the state.
Thank you, Ms. Bass.
Now we have Landon talking to our PolySource Students of the Month for April and May.
Hello, Piqua High School. I am here with WPTW Athlete of the Month for April, Stephen Dolder. And Stephen, what sport did you participate in this spring?
I played tennis.
Awesome. And Stephen, where do you plan on furthering your education?
I'm going to go to The Ohio State University.
Would you plan on majoring in anything?
Nursing.
Awesome. What are your plans after college?
Hopefully get a job in a hospital or some medical facility as a nurse anesthetist, make a lot of money.
Awesome. And what would you say your biggest takeaway from this season would be?
Just, the cohesiveness of the group, that was really important and really excellent. And just having fun, honestly, for the senior year.
Awesome. And what would you say your biggest inspiration would be?
And definitely, I would have to say Mr. Hines or Coach Hines and the assistant coach, Coach Mack.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Stephen, for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, Piqua High School. I'm here with Jacob Hepner, and he is the WPTW Athlete of the Month for May. Jacob, what sport did you participate in this spring?
Track.
And what events did you participate in for track?
Shot and disc.
Perfect. And Jacob, where do you plan on furthering your education?
I'm going to Capital University.
What do you plan on majoring in?
Criminal justice.
And do you have any plans for after college?
No, not really.
All right. And what would you say your biggest takeaway from this track season so far? Your biggest memory that you could take away?
Probably just the practices. They were a lot of fun this year.
Perfect. And who is your biggest inspiration?
Probably my parents. Always motivating me.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Hello, Piqua High School. I'm here with Jordan Carden, WPTW Athlete for the month of April. And Jordan, what events did you compete in for track and field?
The 800 and mile.
All right. And Jordan, where do you plan on furthering your education after PHS?
I plan on attending the University of Dayton and majoring in elementary education.
Awesome. Do you have any plans for after college?
Yes, I plan to become a teacher.
All right. What would you say your biggest takeaway from this season would be?
Honestly, just running with my friends and making memories.
All right. And Jordan, what's your biggest inspiration?
My sister. She always teaches me and tells me to do the best I can be.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jordan.
Next, we have Marin and Amira speaking to some of the students who received the Top 100 award this year.
Today I'm here with
Marin Thunderberg.
Marin, what grade are you in?
I'm in 9th grade.
How many years have you won this award?
This is my first year getting the award.
What is the award?
So the Top 100 award is when a few schools in the county send in the students that had like the highest grades overall, and yeah, they're just the top students from the schools come in and celebrate.
What does this award mean to you?
This award kind of means that like I've been making progress and I've been continuing to get the grades that I wanted throughout the year.
What is your inspiration for this award?
The inspiration for this award is probably my parents, because they've always pushed me to like do really well in school, and it's great that I'm actually like doing that.
Thank you for your time.
So I'm here with
Gracie Clark.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year.
And how many years have you gotten the Top 100 award?
This is my 4th year receiving the award.
And what does this award mean to you?
This award kind of shows how hard I've worked throughout high school just to maintain a good GPA and work hard to get my grades that I want.
And what is the award?
The Top 100 is an award from Miami County for the highest GPA for about 100 people.
And then what inspires you to get this award?
I think that getting a good education is super important, and achieving a high GPA can show that you're working hard for your good grades, and I think your education is very important.
All right, thank you. So I'm here with
Milena Langston.
And Milena, what grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year.
And how many years have you gotten the Top 100 award?
I've gotten it all 4 years of high school.
And so what is the Top 100 award?
It's basically the top kids of Miami County who have the highest GPA.
And what does this award mean to you?
It means a lot to me. It's shaped me a lot as a person throughout high school. It's helped me want to get good grades, knowing that this award comes once a year.
And what inspires you to get this award?
My friends and family have really pushed me and inspired me to get this because they all believe in me so much, and they just motivate me to do better.
All right, thank you. So I'm here with
Logan Tucker.
And Logan, what grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore, 10th grade.
And how many years have you gotten this award?
This is my first year getting this award.
And so what is the Top 100 award?
It's basically where the top 100 academic placing students in the school are assembled, and they're given an award based on how hard they worked.
And what is the meaning behind the award?
I think it's to give some students something to work for so that they know that all their hard work does eventually pay off.
And finally, what's your inspiration behind getting the award?
Well, I've always wanted to have a 4.0, and so far I've achieved that goal, but seeing my mom be happy about my grades and seeing myself be happy about my grades actually makes me happy, so it was really an honor to get this award.
All right, thank you.
Following those Scholar students, we have some National Honor Society members talking about the organization.
My name's Decker Jackson. I'm a senior here at Piqua High School, and I was accepted into NHS 2 years ago. NHS has been a really great opportunity for me, and I've been excited to participate in all the service opportunities that they have. I hope that I can uphold good character and be a good example for the rest of the students here at Piqua High School.
My name is Lexi Gastelou, and I am a senior. I was accepted into National Honor Society at the end of my sophomore year. National Honor Society has been a wonderful program for me over the last couple of years. I'm super proud of all of the kids in it, and I hope that all of the incoming inductees get to participate in our younger student programs with PCIS and with the elementary schools, and I hope that this continues to grow into the Community Outreach Committee, which I am in charge of. And I hope that the City of Piqua just becomes better with our National Honor Society's chapter involvement in the community.
My name is Paul Hines, and I'm currently a junior.
What year were you inducted into NHS?
I will be inducted this year.
What is your experience?
Well, I was in the National Junior Honor Society at the junior high. So based off what I know from that, we're going to do a lot of helping people in the community and organizing events, which I'm looking forward to.
And what do you hope to accomplish?
I hope to just accomplish making Piqua High School a better place and just make Piqua a better community.
Hi, my name's Ivy Lee. I'm a sophomore, and I'm going to be inducted into NHS this year.
What are you excited for?
I'm excited to become a better leader and to support Piqua High School and our surrounding community. I'm looking forward to becoming a role model to younger students and to help future generations to be inducted as well.
Now we have Mr. Messick's principal talk as he speaks with our Dungeons & Dragons Club, as well as Ava Rowley and her experience in the nursing program.
Hi, this is Rob Messick. I'm the principal of Piqua High School, and I'd really like to highlight one of our amazing seniors this year.
Ava Rowley.
And Ava, I brought you on here because I think that you had a very unique experience, or well, it's not unique. I guess we have other kids that are going to be able to do it, but you are our first person to complete this program. And I just wanted to kind of share that with everybody. And so Ava is in our nursing program. And can you tell me a little bit about the test you just took and what you just got certified in?
So it's a PCT certification, so Patient Care Technician. So it's kind of like an STNA, but it's nationally certified. The test is really hard.
Yeah.
So the class is hard.
And so who teaches that class?
Miss Beck teaches it.
Okay, and can you talk, what do you think about Miss Beck?
I love Miss Beck.
Everybody tells me that. She's such a positive person. I mean, if you're having, no matter what kind of day you're having, you're going to have a good day in her class period. So, yeah. So she is actually she's not really a Piqua employee. She's actually a Career Center employee. And 2 years ago, it's actually our second year, we started up this nursing program because we found out that we have a lot of kids in Piqua High School that do want to go on into nursing, but they still want to be a part of being in Piqua at Piqua High School and not having to go to the Career Center. And so that's why we brought that program over. Now, you completed the test and you also did very well on the test, as I heard, because you said it's very hard, but fortunately you're very smart. And more importantly, you work very hard. And so good for you. But since you got the certificate and you're still in high school right now, what has happened since then?
Well, we can apply for jobs as soon as you get your certification because it becomes active right after the test.
Okay.
So I applied for a job at the Miami Valley in Dayton, and you have to go through interview, and it's like a real formal interview that you have to wear scrubs to and everything. And then I got accepted for the job, so you have to send a diploma, emails, and all this other stuff to make sure that you're meeting the requirements to get the job. And then you'll have to go through orientation and classes and everything to get started.
Okay, and so you've been accepted, congratulations, that's big time. And you're gonna start your training soon, right? Is that what you told me?
Yeah,
okay.
So I have to schedule my work physical, and then after that is when we'll schedule the orientation. So orientation is 3 days long. It's a Monday, a Tuesday, and a Thursday, and it's all day. So it's you would go there for class almost, and they just review everything that you should have learned and teach you the stuff about their hospital and how to work everything and where to find stuff at their hospital. And then I'll start right after, and it'll be training for a week or so, and then after I'll just be on my own.
All right, and so really you're going to start working this summer then, I mean, after they get the training done. Or did you get a chance to pick what type of shift you wanted to work, or did they say, hey, guess what, newbie, you're working this?
So you get to apply for which shift you want. The one that I applied for was a night shift, so it's 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Wow.
It's only 3 days a week though.
Oh, okay.
But I only applied for that one because Miss Beck's sister is one of the head nurses on that floor, so then I can like work with her.
Well, look at that. So Mrs. Beck actually transcends all the way down to her sister to be a part of it. That's wonderful. So, Ava, I just, on behalf of Piqua High School, I just want to tell you how proud we are of you. You know, you deserve everything you get because you work very hard at it. And so anyway, just congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to this month's edition of Piqua High School Now. In this issue, we're going to highlight our Dungeons and Dragons Club. And today I have with me
Robert Huber.
And Robbie, I want you to kind of help me out here. Talk to me a little bit about the Dungeons and Dragons Club.
Well, first glance, most people think we're just a bunch of nerds, but Dungeons and Dragons allows...
I don't think that though, Robbie.
You know, sometimes we are.
Okay, and which is okay, right?
Oh, 100%.
We all nerd in a little bit, right? We all do our own thing.
And that's what it's about, being able to get together with a group of friends, or maybe people who don't even know each other, and assume these characters that are deep about us, or that reflect a certain aspect about us that we can't be in society, whether it be the big smart jock who wants to be this smart little wizard character, or this puny kid who wants to be a big barbarian, and allows us to express a part about ourselves that people don't see about us.
That's pretty cool. I never really thought of it that way. Because when I look at it, it just looks like you guys are playing a role game or a dice game or something like that, and I didn't realize that the development of these characters. Would you share with us what kind of character you have?
Sure.
Okay.
My character's name is Duba. He's a big 6'4" lizard man.
Absolutely.
He is a bard, so he plays music. You know, I'm in the show choir, so I like to reflect that about me. But he comes from this really different dimensional plane where he's a vampire and he's consumed by all these negative energies. So he worships the god of fate, because every few hundred years his soul is put into a different lizard body and he's forced to reincarnate and go through these different lives. The god that he worships doesn't like that, so he's trying to figure out why the god of fate would put him in a new body. Why would he experience all these lives when he knows it goes against what his god believes? So he's trying to find his place in the world and understanding where does he belong where he doesn't know who he is.
So you are really invested in this guy.
100%.
So this isn't just, hey, I'm going to be a gnome or something like that. This is somebody that you've really put some time in. So that's pretty cool. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences with us.
It's great to be here.
I'm now with our second guest.
Logan Tucker.
All right, Logan. So I just got done talking to Robbie a little bit about Dungeons and Dragons, and he told me about his character. So what do you do as a dungeon master?
We oversee the battles. We play any villains or monsters that they have to play against. We roll for them. We tell them what they need to do, what they need to roll for, what dice they need to roll, and what's happening. We explain the adventure to them as well. Mm-hmm. So we just kind of like the umpire a little bit, or the coach of a game.
Okay. And so when I walked in there, I saw you guys had it was almost like a round dice. It was like it was kind of a big, it had all kinds of sides to it.
Oh, the 20-sided die?
Okay.
That's usually what we roll the most.
Okay.
We call it D20, and hitting a 20 is like a nat 20. It guarantees almost anything. So if you hit that nat 20, then you're kind of set to go. But if you hit a 1,
it's just not going to
you're not
good.
good. No.
And then I saw there was another one kind of looked like a pyramid.
D4, yeah. It's kind of set up weird, because whatever it lands on, the thing on the top of the pyramid is what happens. So if it's a 1 on all sides, then it's a 1.
Okay. So if for any kids that are that want to get involved in the Dungeons and Dragons, or maybe even some kids coming up from the 8th grade next year, when do you guys meet?
Well, you can always you can discuss on what days are best for you and your group. For the group that I actually play in, we always meet on Mondays, and if some people can't be there, then we usually just cancel.
Okay.
And then on the one I DM for, we usually meet on Fridays. And then if that can't happen, then we'll wait till the next Friday. It's just so that it fits everybody's schedule. Nobody feels left out because they can't go at all, and it's just better for the group.
That sounds good. So it's not really a set schedule. You just kind of set it up on the match, and then what works for everybody. Mm-hmm. All right, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you so much coming in and talking with us today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm with my third guest. I'm here with
Mark Alexander.
All right, Mark, what grade are you?
I am a sophomore.
You're a sophomore, okay. And Mark, obviously you're in the Dungeons and Dragons Club, that's why you're here. Mm-hmm. And our other two guests, they shared with us which character they are, or a little bit about their character. I'm learning about this now, I don't know much about Dungeons and Dragons, but do you have a character yourself?
Not necessarily. I do have a few characters I've created, but since I'm the dungeon master in the group, I don't really play as them.
Okay. And so Mark, you You said you're running a group right now as a Dungeon
Yeah.
Master group? Okay, and what is your, so you're going through and you're doing all the dice and doing all that?
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've ever done something like that, or have you done this before?
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever been a Dungeon Master because I was setting up a group and stuff with the assumption that somebody else was going to be the Dungeon Master, but they had to cancel. And I got an email from Mrs. Fernstez basically saying that she thinks I'd be perfect for the role.
So do you have any advice for anybody wanting to get into the Dungeons and Dragons?
For anybody who wants to get in, it's just a matter of going and asking somebody who you know is in it if you're going to jump into their group. And with the correct accommodations, you can end up in a group that's really fun, really enjoyable, and like really gets you involved in the game.
Okay, it's a good way to meet friends too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, Mark.
All right. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
To finish this episode out, some of the members here in the Pigwood Digital Media program took some clips of some students telling their favorite memory of the year.
My best part of this school year was beating Troy in football because all the seniors hadn't beat them yet, and we stopped their 4-game win streak.
My most memorable moment at Pickwood this year is when we beat Sydney in 3 sets at home during volleyball season. That was a really fun game for the girls, and a lot of them hadn't beat Sydney yet since they started at high school.
My most memorable moment this year was beating Troy because we haven't beat him in over 4 years.
My most memorable moment of this year was being named varsity captain for the wrestling team because I put all my time and effort into this past summer and past winter.
My favorite part of the year was jazz band, being able to play a bunch of different improv solos and fun pieces and spend time with Mr. Hines and the rest of the band.
I enjoyed getting to know a lot more of the upperclassmen as well as just developing more friendships than I did last year.
My favorite part of this school year was just having the show choir actually get together, being able to perform shows, and just being able to be on the stage with everyone else. It was really amazing that we were actually able to pull it off.
My favorite part of the school year was making new friends and hanging out with the ones that I have because it's a break from all of the school and all the work.
Probably just being back in school. Being at home for like 3 months kind of sucked.
My favorite part of the school year was getting to see the students in person and work with them on projects directly instead of just having to be behind a computer.
My favorite part of the school year was when the PCT class made poop from scratch out of bananas and oatmeal, and we put it through a tube socket and into a bedpan, and it was a great day.
My favorite part of the school year was when I made all of my astronomy students dress up like astronauts and put on a fashion show for outer space.
My favorite moments of this school year were when the basketball team defeated Troy back-to-back in 2 consecutive games. It was awesome.
I would like to say thank you to everyone who has watched this season of PHS Now and all the support shown. We hope you have a great, fun, and safe summer and can't wait to see you next year. And remember, I'm Maddie. Bye.